C-U-M-M-I-N-G. Did you start it already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Curtain up, curtain up.
Any of you know, this is my best friend.
Wow, that was fast. See what happens when you don't talk about it for like 30 minutes?
Lena and I are engaged.
So I know a lot of you guys probably have best friends, or just one friend, or no friends at all, and that's totally fine. Like, when you do get that friend, we're gonna teach you how you know.
That's your, that's your
girl, man.
Or your dude.
One! Dun, 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 dun. You know you guys are best friends as you finish each other's
Sandwiches.
No, I'm just kidding. You won't finish each other's sentences.
If anything, you'll say stuff at the exact same time. All the time. I have one time had an entire are you trying to say the same thing as me? Are you planning? You're trying to say, no, don't. Like in action, it's crazy. I've had people literally ask, those casual ones where someone's like, hey guys, you both go, hey, how are you? And you're like, good, thanks. Oh, all of your stuff is like 12 octaves higher than your actual voices. So you're both just sitting there like, two. You guys are always referred to as like y'all. You means both. 2 for 1.
Hey, are you guys coming? And I was like, I'm Beyonce. I don't come with nobody.
Number 3, you call them out on little things that like nobody would ever notice. So like an eye twitch in a random conversation where someone will say something and they're like, oh, and I'd be like, you're across the room and you're like, fake.
You and your best friend, you're best friends because you obviously have mutual people that you don't like. And when that person like comes up to one of you and they're like, hey, how are you? And you're just like,
you're the person that you don't like, that I don't like, we don't like, you're that person, so pretend like you're talking to yourself, and I'm like, bye, so good seeing you, and you're like, oh my god, I was talking to your best friend.
Number 5.
We're on 4.
No, we're 3. If normal people walk by your conversation and would be offended.
No, I'm not saying like, that was mean, like,
who says that?
Is that even legal? I think that just like surpassed freedom of speech. If I can be like, beep, 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 beep. Those were all my cuss words.
You guys are separate and you guys are nice people. But when you get together, you're like, hey, I can't wait to wear a trash bag just like that girl.
Sorry, lady at King Supers, if you watch our video.
Please get a different dress. See what I mean? No one's around, so we're rude.
This is fine.
I didn't think it was bad until you said it was bad. And then I was like, oh shit, that is bad. 5!
This is 5! Like, you have that one person, you're like, oh my god, they are so funny. That is not the funniest person you know in your life. The funniest person you know in your life is your best friend. I'm not really sure if I meant that.
Or, like, if you guys just pick up on little stuff, like, you guys have, like, telepathic communications. Like, sometimes, if there's someone in the room and, like, I don't feel good about them, I just look at Sarah and I'll be like, 7. If you guys are in the car and you are reckless, like singing to people outside the window.
I'm talking, you've wrecked 2 cars for this person.
Yelling at someone, prostitution is illegal in Colorado.
I'm sorry if that girl is watching this right now. I don't know if you remember that day. But I'm not sorry. I totally meant to. It was really funny.
I thought you were a prostitute. You were just on the corner by yourself. So
it was like noon, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
I prostituted, you know, so.
Prostitutes have no time of day. Number 8.
This is 4 plus 4. Those awkward silences that you have with people, those are moments. You should cherish those.
Mm-hmm.
The awkward feeling, it's still awkward. It's still like silent and weird. Not like awkward like if you're on a first date and you're both sitting there and it's just silent and you're both sitting, you can be the boy. And you're driving. No, you're driving. We're in the car. Both in the living. Turn the radio on.
I'm sorry, I took on too many roles. I'm just the boyfriend.
That's normal with your best friend because chances are both of you are just looking at your phones, texting each other what you can't say out loud.
Guilty.
Unless it's just the 2 of you and you're texting each other.
Guilty again.
We're on 9. You basically have moved into one another's homes. times.
Sarah will sleep in the same bed as me. Nights when we're having a good time. Last week, I was laying in bed, and I was like, oh crap, I know Sarah's gonna spend the night. I was like, here, I laid out some pajamas. This might just be just stuff I'm realizing as I say it. And I go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, Sarah's not there, and I'm like, are you okay? Are you alive? What happened? What were you doing if you're not doing it?
Every time that I wake up and Lena expected me to be there, she'll text me, are you alive? Like every Wednesday, I'm over here. We have a slumber party. We have a slumber party every Wednesday. And if I don't stay through the slumber party, Lena will be like, where did you go? Are you alive? And I usually just answer with, I'll tell you later. Oh! Speaking of best friends, I miss you.
Number 10. You and your best friend share literally no comfort zone. You see how close I am to her? If I go like this, it's not weird at all. Sorry about that. If you are talking to a new guy, your best friend just so happens to come cuddle with the both of you because she's basically dating whoever I'm dating and I'm basically dating whoever she's dating. So you might as well get used to it because guaranteed I'm gonna find out everything that you said, who you slept with, who you've ever talked to in your whole entire life.
I've probably seen your names.
You've probably seen each other's nudes.
Not by choice, some by choice.
You're just like, hey, I look really hot, look at.
This is like a cliche one, but I think it's a good one to go out with. You guys will always be each other's girlfriends in a time of crisis. That really weird guy puts his thingy against your booty at the club. You do the thing where you're like, but you're still twerking because you're a bad bitch. You do the thing where you're looking at your friend and you're like,
But if you're really best friends, your best friend is gonna let you suffer for a couple minutes because she thinks it's funny.
just a little. Only because I want that guy to know you're the best twerker in Greeley, Colorado.
Thank you. What an honor it is to be.
Here's your medal.
You're like, okay, you're feeling it, and you're like, ooh, twerking. You're like, okay, I can break him off. So you grab her hand for stabilization, and
I lean down and I'm like, you won't break him off though. Next thing you know, she's having a baby 9 months later, and you're like, how did that happen?
I'm not ready. I swear, Mom.
These are little things just to help you. You're in that phase where you're like, I'm not really sure if that's my friend, actually. Oh, wait.
Hello? Ricky! So if you can relate to some of these, or you have any more ideas of like how it proves your best friend is your best friend, please comment them and share and stuff like that. But if you didn't relate to these, are you even best friends with your best friend? Unless your best friend's like a dog, and obviously you're not gonna relate. Like,
friggin' weirdo. Also, your best friend is gonna have other friends.
Or maybe not.
You know. It's not my fault that I want to name my firstborn child Murray Roya Imani Lene Sierra. If you were having doubts or if you needed guidance, we're here for you. Also, don't be sad if your best friend doesn't look like you're supposed to be best friends, because you see those like Tumblr girls and it's like, every blonde is a brunette's best friend. That's literally because my best friend looks like a jumping bean and I look like a freaking asparagus, so...
It wasn't fun when I was a jumping bean, but it got more fun when you became an asparagus.
I mean, you're a short... Holla, holla.
Do it again.
I said
Holla at your girl.
And...
Scene.